Come on, motherfucker, ain't starting. I'm gonna kick your ass, kick your ass. Come on now. Come on, motherfucker. Fix the fucking car. Fucked up again, you asshole. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by, coming at you with some very exciting news. My man here on YouTube, Summerhill Cinema 700, tipped me off to this news yesterday, something I wasn't privy to until he left a comment on one of my videos, basically informing me about this news, which is something that I think a lot of us knew was going to happen, which is some very exciting news. Basically on Tuesday, October 13th in 2020, Scream Factory is going to be releasing basically a Friday the 13th complete, I don't know if they're calling it an Ultimate Edition, collection, whatever, of all the Friday the 13th films that currently are in existence, the first movie all the way to the abysmal 2009 film. First time they're going to be all included in a release since the 2012, did it come out in 2012, Blu-ray tin that came out, which is now people are asking for like upwards of $1,000 for on YouTube instead, or not YouTube, but eBay and stuff. So, you know, Friday the 13th being one of my, or being my favorite franchise of all time, and the first movie being among my favorite films, this is very exciting news for this Friday the 13th fan, mostly because of what one can only assume that will be included in this release, hopefully, and it's kind of frustrating because at this point it's kind of vague. But one can only hope and assume that there's actually going to be, for the first time, a long time coming, on Blu-ray, actual Blu-ray 3D of Friday the 13th Part 3, with the real 3D, not the frickin' colored glasses thing. So unfortunately I haven't been able to confirm that, and they're kind of vague in their press release, saying like a new 3D version, and that's kind of vague. But basically I'm not going to talk about all of the special features on this release. I'm basically just going to mention the new special features, or at least the ones that I can remember to mention rather. So basically you've got disc 1 and 2 of the collection is Friday the 13th 1980, and we've got a new 4K scan of the original camera negative of both the theatrical and unrated cut, which will be cool. Because I'm not exactly sure if the R-rated cut has ever been on Blu-ray. I heard tell that the movie, the version of the movie in the tin is the R-rated cut. I don't think I've ever put that Blu-ray in to see if that is really the case or not. But regardless, it'll be cool to, you know, while I guess I kind of do like watching the unrated one more, it'd be cool to also have the original theatrical or the R-rated cut as well, just for old time's sake. And it's funny because I just rewatched 1 through 7 this summer, and I'm gonna plan to probably go through them again before the summer's over. And I was just watching these, like the first movie. I mean, they look so good on the Blu-rays that exist now. I'm kind of thinking, how the hell can they make these things look any better? But so that's gonna be a new feature of the first movie on the first 2 discs. Another thing you get is vintage Fangoria magazine article BD-ROM, and what they call new to set, which is new to this version. Then other new to set features that go with the first movie or TV spots, and then I don't know what this S radio spots is and K radio spot, and then international theatrical trailer as well are the features that are quote unquote new to the set for this new upcoming edition of the collection of the films. Disc 3, Friday the 13th Part 2, also has a new 4K scan of the original camera negative, and then we've got the other things that are new to set are vintage Fangoria magazine article BD-ROM, radio spots, and TV spots. And I saw someone leave a comment on a forum, I think blue-ray.com or something like that, and I kind of agree with them. I'm just like, they talked about the no love or the lack of special features for Part 2, which is really kind of weird. I mean, can't they get anyone? Obviously Steve Miner doesn't really want to talk about it. Can't they get anyone to do a commentary? Some surviving cast members, Amy Steele, anyone to do a commentary for Part 2? It's just kind of been the, I don't know, the grade ugly duckling or whatever the hell, the black sheep, I don't know what the hell. It's been the movie from the early films that hasn't really, you know, gotten a whole lot of love, special treatment or special feature wise or commentary wise. Like all the, you know, most of the movies, you know, have commentaries with someone, you know, and I think that might be the only movie that doesn't, out of all these movies, that doesn't have a commentary at all. Then we've got Disc 4, Friday the 13th Part 3, new 4K scan from what they're just calling original film elements in 2D and a new 3D version. Again, this is kind of vague. Does that mean it's a new, you know, colored glasses 3D or an actual, you know, 3D Blu-ray normal, you know, Blu-ray 3D, frickin' decent 3D? So that'll be something that we'll have to, like I say, the information's probably out there. I've been lazy and I haven't been looking around for it. One can only assume that this is actually going to, you know, be an actual Blu-ray 3D release of Part 3. I mean, this Friday the 13th fan definitely hopes that is the case. Other new features included on Friday the 13th Part 3 is, oh, well, this isn't a new feature, but I think it's the first time that the audio commentary with Larry Zerner and Paul Kratka and Richard Brooker and Dana Kimmel has ever been on Blu-ray. I think that only place that commentary had been featured previously was on that very first Paramount DVD set that came out with the first 8 movies. I don't think that commentary has ever been featured on any other release of Part 3. If I'm wrong, that could very well be the case, but as to my knowledge, that was kind of a commentary that never got ported over to the special edition DVDs or subsequently to the Blu-rays or anything like that. So the commentary is really fun. Like Larry Zerner is fun, and everyone's just really it's really kind of a fun commentary. So it'll be great to have that commentary back in, you know, whatever you want to call it, back available for people to listen to who, you know, never had a chance to hear it before, because I always wondered why that commentary wasn't on any releases that came out after the box set that it was first featured on. But now people are going to have the opportunity to listen to that commentary again, which will be very exciting. Some of the other new things on Part 3, of course, is the Vintage Fangoria magazine article BD-ROM, which this particular person doesn't give a rat's ass about. Then TV spots and radio spots are new to set for Part 3. Disc 5, Friday the 13th, final chapter, new 4K scan of the original camera negative. And one thing that I'm hoping for the very first time, I hope that they can give us, Scream Factory can give us for the very first time on Blu-ray for Final Chapter, original mono audio. You're listening to a guy or watching and listening to a guy who grew up with Final Chapter and all these films and stuff. So while the 5.1 mix is you know, serviceable and it doesn't have too many changes from the original mono, I still would like, you know, in a perfect world, I'd still love to have original mono on Final Chapter Blu-ray. With any luck, that'll happen with this release. What else do we got new here? Probably just the Vintage Fangoria magazine article, BD-ROM, TV spot, and radio spots are the only thing, as far as I can tell, that are quote-unquote new to the set on Final Chapter. Disc 6, Friday the 13th, Part 5, New Beginning. This is really exciting. New audio commentary with Melanie Kinnaman, Deborah Voorhees, and Tiffany Helm, the three actresses from New Beginning. Of course, you've got, you know, what's her name being, you know, Pam, and whatever the hell, Tina from Big Titted Tina, and what was the Tiffany Helm was Violet, I want to say. She's the one who was dancing robotically to Pseudo Echo with "There's a man with no life in his eyes." So that actually commentary I'm really looking forward to. The great thing about New Beginning is the commentaries that already exist with the ones, well, I don't know if I don't do the fan commentaries, but the one with Danny Steineman and John Shepard and Shavar Ross, like that commentary is great. Shavar Ross is just a frickin' hoot. So with any luck, the new audio commentary with the three New Beginning ladies will be, you know, something just as entertaining as the commentary that already exists for New Beginning. Disc 7, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. New audio commentary with Tom Matthews, Vinny Gustafaro, Carrie Noonan, Cynthia Kinia, and C.J. Graham. And what's really great about this is now with the new audio commentary, Jason Lives is going to have four total commentaries. Of course, one of them is the fan commentary, so I guess that doesn't really count, but it'll have now on Blu-ray in this particular set. It'll have 4 commentaries and 3 actual people that were involved in the making of the film commentaries. So that's kind of interesting. And of course, the other things new to set on this disc are, of course, did you guess it? Yep, vintage Fangoria magazine article BD-ROM and TV spots. Disc 8, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. There's nothing new on here except for, you guessed it, vintage Fangoria magazine article, BD-ROM, and TV spot. Disc 9, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Doesn't appear like there's anything new except, we don't even get a vintage Fangoria magazine article, we just have a TV spots for the only new thing for Part 8. Disc 10 and 11, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. We get some news here. New 2K scan of the original film elements for theatrical version. New 2K scan of the original film elements with HD inserts for the unrated version. To my knowledge, this will be the very first time the unrated version will be featured of Jason Goes to Hell will be featured on Blu-ray. I'm not exactly sure why they say, original film elements with HD inserts. I mean, all of it's HD. I don't know if that's going to imply that the HD inserts are going to be a lesser of a quality than the rest of the movie or not, but for this particular fan, Jason Goes to Hell isn't a movie that I watch very often, and also it doesn't really matter. While it's nice to finally have the unrated version on Blu-ray, this disc isn't going to get spinned very much from this particular fan. Disc 12, Jason X. We've actually got a couple news here. New audio commentary with Kane Hodder and Todd Farmer and Peter Bracke. That's a guy who did some, I don't know, Friday the 13th book or something like that or whatever. New interviews with Sean Cunningham, Noel Cunningham, Kane Hodder, Christy Angus, whoever the hell that is, and Todd Farmer. What else we got here? Electronic press kit new to the set and TV spot new to set for Jason X. Disc 13, Freddy vs. Jason. I don't think there is one thing on here on this disc that is new whatsoever, so that's easy and quickly get past that one. Disc 14, Friday the 13th, 2009. Just like with the last disc of Freddy vs. Jason, there's absolutely nothing new on here, or at least not at this point. Probably won't be, ever. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, who's gonna watch? Who's gonna put in this disc of Friday the 13th Part 9 anyway? Part 9, Friday the 13th, 2009 rather. Disc 15, bonus disc number 1. Looks like we've got new interview with composer Harry Manfredini, which will be fun, although I think he's pretty much said all he can really say about, his involvement in the movies and doing the music, but whatever, he's a great contributor to the films, obviously, so I'm always happy to hear from Harry Manfredini. New location featurette on parts 1 and 2, which will be interesting for this particular fan, because for me, the location of the first film, Camp Novi Bosco, or however the hell you say the name of it, is my all-time #1 most wanted to, or if I could go to any filming location in the world for any movie, it would be the filming location for Friday the 13th, 1980. For me, that's just like the ultimate location. It was just perfect for that movie, and one of the things that makes that movie just perfect in my opinion, or just so enjoyable for me, is just that location was just, I guess I can't really put it any more than that, just an absolute perfect location for that movie. So unfortunately, I don't imagine I'll ever get to have the chance to actually visit the location in person, so hopefully this little whatever the hell it's called, new location, or the location featurette on parts 1 and 2 will be the next best thing. It says, and more to be announced for the bonus disc number 1. Bonus disc number 2 doesn't say anything that's new on here, but it also says more to be announced. As for the artwork of this box set, I personally, unfortunately, don't love it a whole hell of a lot. I think it's really, really too much going on, and you know, just they just felt like they had to have every, you know, version that of Jason that ever existed on the artwork that wraps around the sides and the front of the cover of the box set. I personally I'm more simplistic. I personally would have liked just the box to be basically all black, and like on the front of it could be, you know, that thing in the very first movie that came out, the logo and smash the glass, Friday the 13th. Just have the whole box be black, and on the front just that thing, the Friday the 13th logo that breaks the glass in the first movie at the beginning, and then underneath it, you know, Ultimate, your complete collection Ultimate Edition or something like that. That would be my, you know, that would be my artwork for the box set, instead of this, you know, just busy plethora of all the, you know, versions of Jason that have ever existed in this collage and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, if you guys like the artwork, I mean, more power to you. I wish I could like it more than I do. I just feel like it's, I don't know, it's just, I think it's trying way too much. One thing I do like about this release is the discs, the disc art for the individual discs using original artwork for the packaging, of course, is a huge win. I mean, look at this right here on the Friday the 13th collection bonus feature disc. See how that's so, just that logo just on black? That's not the logo I was talking about, but that logo looks great on black as well. Like something simple like that, or even if you don't do that one thing, you know, the logo that breaks the glass at the beginning of the first movie, just do this, Friday the 13th collection. It's just really simple and really striking. So in addition to liking the cover art, you know, the use of the original cover art for the films in their individual cases, I'm loving the disc art here. But one thing that I noticed that is kind of a, it's hopefully it's just a screw up here on their little press kit, is that I see 3 knives. It should be 2 knives and an axe. Like there's only 2 discs for the first movie, so I don't know. It looks like they must have screwed up or something like that. Hopefully when the set actually comes out, this 3rd disc will be, you know, there should be an axe there, not a knife. But I'm really loving the you know, the artwork on the discs themselves. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for my little news update video. Basically, you know, letting you guys know about the upcoming Scream Factory Friday 13th Ultimate Collection, which will be very exciting. As I said, it's kind of frustrating. I mean, granted, I didn't do much research. Kind of frustrating really not knowing whether it's going to actually have a real Blu-ray 3D version of the 3rd movie in it or not. Even without it, I'm probably just going to get it anyway, just for the new scans and hopefully original mono on Final Chapter, and the, you know, the new commentary for A New Beginning and stuff like that. And just because Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to end up with this thing one way or another. Let's just, fingers crossed, on an actual, I'm not flipping you off, I'm crossing my fingers, on an actual 3D Blu-ray disc for part 3. That would just be like my dream come true, my #1 all-time, you know, requested 3D Blu-ray, or, you know, my all-time 3D Blu-ray title of choice to come out. You know, now that we've got Amityville 3D and Jaws 3D, I've been on 3D Blu-ray for years at this point. Finally, hopefully, with any luck, we're going to get in October a Blu-ray 3D of Friday the 13th Part 3. That'll be absolutely amazing. Feel free to let me know what you think about this upcoming release in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.